Hello. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope everyone is having a wonderful and blessed night this evening. I know it's pretty late, but I just wanted to stop by and, just talk with you a little bit. I wanted to talk about abuse. A part of this group is basically overcoming the hurt, the pain, and the shame. A lot of us have been through molestation or different types of sexual abuse. I want to, basically talk to you about abuse, period. As voices of women, we should never, ever accept abuse from anyone. That is something that we should not be tolerating in our lives. Okay? We are beautiful and we deserve the best. Okay, so I just want to say that, you have to be careful with who you let in your life. We should never settle for less. We deserve the very best, okay? If you have someone who is disrespecting you, abusing you mentally, physically, emotionally, or any type of way, then that person does not deserve space in your life. Period. You deserve better. We deserve better. So that's first thing, okay? If you have someone who cannot respect you as a woman, they don't deserve to be in your life. Okay, so with that being said, we need to start setting our expectations. We need to put our feet down and let them know we're not having it. We're not having it. Because a person will only do what you allow them to do. They will only do what you allow them to do. So, let them know immediately that you're not tolerating any nonsense, okay? I've seen in many relationships, I've experienced in relationships myself, different types of, abuse. I've been through the mental, the physical, the emotional, you name it. I've been through it all. And little did I know, I was putting up with it. I kept myself in a situation believing that it was the best decision for the kids. No. Never stay in a situation because of kids, because you're really causing more harm than anything. You're exposing them to an environment that they should not be exposed to. So if you're in a bad situation, I would advise you to reevaluate the situation and maybe, seek help. Because you should not be in a situation where a man is degrading you. You should not be in a situation where the man is, mistreating you in any type of way. Nowadays I see men, if you're in a situation where you're the only one providing, to me that's abuse. Because no grown female should be taking care of a grown male, in my opinion. Now, you can do what you like, but come on now. If you have an able body in your home and he's male and he's with you, he need to help you provide. Us as women, we go so hard. We push. And we don't realize that, you know, we're causing harm to our bodies by pushing so hard. You know, we need help. Well, I'm not going to say we need help, but it will be helpful so that we don't have to work so hard, right? I'm just saying. I mean, you know, I don't know what the world is coming to. You have men driving women cars. They don't have a car, but they driving the woman car as they please, like it's theirs. And then they'll turn around and disrespect you on top of it. Come on. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. You gonna drive my car and then call me out my name after? Come on now. We gotta do better, ladies. We got to do better. We gotta do better. We have to set an example for our kids. No kid should be hearing a male call you out your name. That is crazy. Especially a boy. Come on. Come on. We got to put our feet down. Let them know, hey, we're not having it. If you can't respect me, then there's the door. Hit the road, Jack. We have to set an example for our kids. We have to. Because what you expose them to, then guess what? They think that's normal. And it's not. It's not normal. So come on, ladies. Let's do better. Okay? You know, so a part of our vow is to never allow or accept abuse from anyone. We don't have to. We don't have to. Because we're strong, we're beautiful, and we deserve the best. Plain and simple, we deserve the best. So, you know, I'm just asking that each of you just make sure that, you know, you set your standards, okay? Don't compromise, okay? Don't compromise. You set your standards high. Don't settle for less because you deserve the best. Okay? I've been through so much in my life. You know, I remember, you know, in my first marriage, I tolerated so much. You know, we were separated, and I remember thinking, like, you know what? I need to go back and work my marriage out. And that was actually after I heard a message in church. The pastor was saying, some of y'all will get out there on the highway and fight over the highway, but you won't fight over your marriage. And I honestly felt convicted. I felt guilty. So what did I do? I tried to work my marriage out. I went back to my ex-husband, and, you know, I was pregnant at the time. And, I mean, things were good, you know, for a little bit. But then the abuse started up again, you know. Actually, things got worse. It actually got worse. And I felt really guilty for putting myself back into that situation. Because not only did I put myself in that situation, but I exposed my kids to it as well. And I remember one day that, well, actually, it was one night. My husband had gotten physical with me, and my ex-husband, that is, and my son, he was probably about maybe 3 years old, and he said, "Mommy, why won't you hit him back?" And you know, at that point, I knew it was time to go. It was time to go. You know, so I pretty much just, you know, I said, that's it. That's it. It didn't matter. I stayed a little longer. Now, I'm not going to say I just, up and left. I actually was in school full time and I wasn't working, so I went out and found me a part-time job. And I was basically working, and one day he came to me. He said, he revealed some things to me. He was just really basically trying to hurt me at his best. He had revealed that he had slept with some female in our bed. And at that point, I said, I'm not taking it anymore. So I was in the process of leaving, and he had took the keys to prevent me from leaving. And I sat out in the car for hours. And he came out and knocked on the window. He said, you can come in. You can come in. I don't want you out here in the car. I'm not going to hurt you. And I mean, he had the sweetest tone ever. I mean, and I trusted him and went back in the house. Later on that night, he attacked me. And, I was just done. I was just tired. When you're going through, situations like that, a lot, you just get tired eventually. When you're fed up, you're fed up. And I was fed up, and I was ready to go. And so I quickly filed for, he had gotten arrested that night. And I went ahead and filed for divorce. I think that was the best decision I could have ever made. I filed for a divorce, and I had, I did everything myself. I completed the paperwork. So I didn't have a lawyer or anybody. I was just determined to get the divorce final, done. And I did. He promised that if I divorced him, that he wasn't going to help me with the kids. He said that he wasn't going to do anything for me. I mean, and, for a moment, fear tried to set in. But I just thought about the situation that I had placed myself and the kids in. And I thought about what would it be like if I stayed in that situation. And when I thought about it, I said, you know what? I probably wouldn't live through it. And so I thought about my kids. Where would they be? How would their life end up? So at that point, I followed through with the divorce. And since I only had a part-time job, I really couldn't afford to stay in the apartment. So I decided to move into a women's shelter. It was a scary experience. It really was, because I had never been in a shelter before. And we went to the shelter, and they really didn't have any space. So me and my kids, we slept on the floor. And the next day, they was having like an outreach program at a church. And so me and my kids, said, they advised us, or, they informed us of the outreach program, and offered us to join. And so we did. And there was a bus, and I can remember getting on that bus. And as I got on the bus, I seen so many hurting people. Like, I've never experienced anything like that. And I was just so broken inside. I cried and I cried. And I mean, I was lost. I was so lost. I was lost for words. I stood there for a moment just staring, and I just broke down. It was a very painful experience. I could not believe that I was there, but most importantly, I could not believe how many other people was going through. I mean, they were going through. They were homeless. They didn't have anywhere to go. And so I went to this program, and I met, I want to say she was an evangelist at the time. I don't know, but she was volunteering, and she was a part of the ministry. And she walked up to me, and she said, I recognize that look on your face. I've been there before. And I just fell apart, because what I was feeling inside was just, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I doing the right thing? And I mean, I was just so hurt. I was confused. I really was. a part of me wanted to just, say, no, I can't do this. And then the other part of me said, yes, you gotta do this. So I was in between. I was just so hurt, confused. And she introduced me to come back to the ministry the following day, which was a Sunday. And I decided to go. And I had joined the ministry. And one day the pastor was preaching, and he said, some of y'all don't even fight for your marriage. You'll get out there on the highway and fight, but you won't fight for your marriage. And I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking, Lord, he's talking to me. I thought he was talking to me, guys. And what did I do? I went back to my husband, thinking that it was the right thing to do. But I just want to tell somebody that what's for somebody else may not be for you. Okay? If you're in an abusive relationship, you shouldn't be there. If the person is physically abusing you, you shouldn't be there. You don't deserve to be hit. You don't deserve to be spit on. You don't deserve to be pushed. You don't deserve to be, not, anything of that sort. You should not be in situations like that. We went through counseling, and of course that didn't help. He was just who he was. And the hard part was that all of this was taking place in front of the kids, our kids. So I'm just here to tell you that just because someone else feels that you should work things out in your marriage, you have to go by how you feel, what you feel. What do you feel you deserve? What's your worth? You have to know your value. You are a valuable person, okay? And so, what does that mean? You don't allow anyone to mistreat you. So, we have to be careful, guys, with who we're letting in our life. Not everybody deserves a seat at your table. Not everybody deserves to be in your space. We tolerate way too much as women. We tolerate way too much. And what we have to think about is the future of our children. And so we have to be careful with what we're exposing them to and allowing them to see. Because guess what? They grew up thinking that those things are normal. And they're not. They're not normal. They see your baby daddy calling you a B and a hoe and a slut and all this and that. Guess what? Guess what? They're going to be running around calling other people and their girlfriends. If they see your daddy jacking you up, that's what they're going to be doing. So come on, guys. Let's stop settling. Let's stop allowing people to mistreat us, because we deserve way better. We really do. We deserve way better. Okay? If you're someone who don't, like to be alone, pray about it. Pray about it. It's better to be alone than to be beat on. It's better to be alone than to be degraded. It's better to be alone than to be, just mistreated. Guys, let me tell you something. I'm telling you this because when I went back to my ex-husband, it was the worst mistake that I could have ever made in my whole entire life. It cost me a lot. It cost me a lot. And I will share that story with you one day. I just don't want to share it right now. But I'm telling you now, you better think about it. What's meant for somebody else is not meant for you. Think about that. Just because somebody else, you know, wanted to work their marriage out or their relationship out, doesn't mean that it was meant for you to work it out. Their situations may have been, you know, maybe different from yours. Their husband's probably not beating on them. Their husband's probably not mistreating them, treating them. Come on, guys. I mean, the man is gonna, you know, hey, if we tolerate it, they're gonna continue to mistreat us. If that's what we're tolerating and if that's what we allow. So please, guys, hear me out now. We gotta do better. So, vow number 1, never allow anyone to mistreat you or abuse you. It stops at the door. Don't let it in. The first sign you see, turn it right around. You gotta go. You're not welcome here. Nip it right at the door. Alright, guys. So again, it's your girl Wanchelle, V.O.W, Voices of Women 2019. You guys please subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed already. I hope that we can build something special, guys. I want us to build, I want this to be a movement. Voices of Women 2019. Let our voices be heard, okay? Let's let our voices be heard. All right, guys. Have an awesome night. Good night.